What's going on? It's Dom. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to another Dom IY video. Now today I'm doing a much needed oil change on my daily runner, my 2007 Volvo V50. Now it seems like in the last few weeks I've been doing oil change after oil change, but that's kind of a good thing because at least all the cars are having their services around the same time and I can take care of it all at once. So this oil change on the Volvo, very, very simple, just like the BMWs. You get underneath, you drain it very quickly. The filter's up on top, take care of it, 1, 2, 3. I'll probably do it in about 20 minutes. I just got back from running some errands, so I'm gonna unload a few things and get to work on the Volvo. So let's do that right now. Okay, with the vehicle jacked up on jack stands with wheel chocks behind the rear wheels and my e-brake on, this is another very simple oil change. I've got my liquid moly ready, I've got my filter ready, I've got my tools necessary to begin this oil change. And from above, it is very simple to do. On this vehicle, to access the oil filter, it's very convenient. It's right here. It's got a 36mm nut on top of it with my socket, a universal and an extension. I can simply turn that right off and pull it right out. Now, in some other models, you may have to remove parts of the airbox, like the flow tubing that's here. In my case, I don't have to. So I'm just going to take a rag, put it way down in there, so when I loosen and remove the filter, I don't get too much of an overspill on other components. With the filter loose, I've got my Tupperware here with a plastic bag on it, so I can just dump the filter right on there and not worry about getting too much spill anywhere else. I can remove my rag and start cleaning up around the perimeter. Some of the excess oil that's dripped over. With the filter out, you can see it's really dirty. I'm just going to pop it out from the cap. With the filter removed, I'm going to remove the O-ring. I just get my pick tool in there to pull the O-ring out and throw that away. Clean up around the cap. Now the new oil filter did come with the O-ring. I'm going to lubricate it with some of the old oil just so it makes it easier to slip on. And when I do put it on, I want to make sure that it goes on this larger of the rings here at the bottom. Down here is where I want it to be. I'm going to take a little bit of oil. I'm just going to reach in here where the oil filter was and lubricate the ring a little bit before I put it on. And now make sure that it seats all the way down there. And get some of the oil on the outside. And I'll take the new filter, pop the new filter on, and we're good to go. I can just reach in and put it right in there and screw it down. I don't want to over tighten it. I just want to make it until it gets a little tight, and then perhaps a quarter turn after that, and that's it. Take off my oil filler cap, let it breathe a little bit. This is going to make the oil drain out a lot quicker. I did start the vehicle and I let it run for a few minutes just to heat up the oil a little bit so it makes it easier when it's flowing out. You don't want to do this with a cold vehicle. Not that it gets cold in Florida, but it does make it thick and it comes out a little slower. If you're up north in a colder region, it's going to come out like molasses, and you don't want that to happen. To drain the oil on this particular vehicle, I've got to remove this plastic skid plate here. Now to do so, I've got 5 Phillips head screws all around the perimeter. And strangely enough, there's only one T25 right here that I need to remove. And then that'll let me lower the skid plate and access my Fumoto drain valve, because I do not have your standard drain plug on there, and you'll see what that looks like in just a minute. All right, for those of you that caught my video where I did the oil change on my wife's BMW X3, I spoke about a Fumoto drain plug. This is the drain plug right here. This one has the adapter that pushes it out a little further so I can clear the pan. In some cases you need it, in some cases you don't. Depends on your particular model. But this is the lever up here, and all I've got to do is push down on it towards me and give it a turn, and the flow of oil will start to come out. Now, I don't want to have to worry about where the flow of oil is. So Fumoto gives you the hose that you can attach right to the nipple. And depending on your vehicle, your model, it might point downward, it might be on an angle, it all depends. You may or may not need this hose, but it makes it convenient for me because I can put the drain pan anywhere. I can put my oil pan anywhere, rather. And the hose is right here, and it'll go directly in there and there will be no mess. So this is just very simply turning this lever here to give it flow. And I'm just curious if I have the little lock on it. There it is. I turn it upwards rather. And there's the flow of oil, and it's going directly into the drain pan. See? And I don't have to worry about a mess at all. So I'll just let that drain all the way out, turn it, close it, go back up on top, and fill it with fresh oil, and that's it. Fumoto oil drain plug. These are awesome. Now with the oil fully drained, I just closed the valve, removed my hose, I can clear everything out, no mess. I'll put the skid plate back on, lower the vehicle, get up to the top, and fill it with oil. With the vehicle lowered, I'm going to begin pouring in the first 5.5 quarts of oil, and then I'm going to check the dipstick and see that the level falls between the low and the high mark. I don't want to go below or above it. And that's exactly where we want it, right in between the hash marks. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's right in the middle there. This is the low, this is the high. That's exactly where we want it. You never want your oil low, and you most certainly don't want it too high. Both cases can be bad for the engine. Now the last thing to replace is the O-ring on the oil filler cap right here. This is the new one. It was provided with the oil kit that I purchased from FCP Euro. They gave all the necessary washers and O-rings required to do this job, and this is one of them. It's already pre-oiled, and I'll just slip it on there on the bottom ring right down here. That's where it goes. It is lubricated. We'll put it back on. And the oil change on the Volvo V50 is done. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts or questions. All that helps support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.